Guten Abend, this is my project EP2 Acoustic 2.5 dash tracks. Yes, so this is my 9-minute long song. As you can see, this is virtually the same as the other recording that I did. So yeah, I've got my 3 main acoustic tracks here. The 16th, 12th frets, and then the bridge. Then I have the 2 copies of the 12th fret, which I have modelled. That's the same as I left it. I do have this jazz organ here as well, and I've used automation just to mean it slowly fades up as it starts playing here. So you can see it's at negative infinity. Then it goes up to negative 16.4 decibels. So it just has a slow rise as you're going through this section, the intro. Peaking to just where the vocals come in here. And then it stays at the same volume all the way throughout. I do have the new section here. Which I've used clean guitar for, so I've used the dueling cabs preset. I've left the settings pretty damn simple, to be honest, just a little bit of EQ and some compression with the opto, soft distortion, got the ratio to 391, threshold at negative 13.5 dB, the tax on 44 milliseconds, and I'm at negative 4 makeup gain as well. Got the mix to 50%. Yeah, so this is just a preset you can get in Logic. I got it from the clean guitar, and it's just hitting dueling cabs. I also have the Heavenly Tweed as well. Just got a compressor here, Platinum Digital, 2:1 ratio, and negative 23.5 decibels for threshold. Tax at 12.5 milliseconds. And negative 7.5 makeup gain, soft distortion, 50% mix, and that's the Heavenly Tweed under clean guitars again. So I have this section which is playing with the left channel. Then I have this one over here, which is the Heavenly Tweed, which sounds like this. Pretty lush sounding. I do have some additional organs here and here as well. So they're panned, this one's panned all the way to the left and sounds like this. Oh, my mistake. It's going to be very quiet. And there's this one. Together they sound like and this one has the same kind of automation settings. I've got my amp head here, which is the dueling cabs. Oh yeah, sorry, no, I said that already. Got the organs that come in here. These are just playing chords, so you can see just here. It's a B7 chord, and then a E sus4. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I've got the Heavenly Tweed that comes in here. Oh no, wait, sorry, I've already said that. I've got my samples here, so I've got my, if I start with the wind sound effects, they're pretty small sounding. So I made use of EQ just to completely get rid of the low end, because in headphones it was not necessarily a poor recording, but there was a lot of low end mud and muffle to it, which was really unwanted. So I just completely got rid of everything under 138 hertz. If I play it, you'll be able to see the whether you click the analyzer, and it tells you exactly what frequencies you can see. As you can see, there's a lot of low and mid range there, but if I was to take away this, there's going to be a lot more low end. You can see there's still some low end, but it's a lot of it is neutralized. I've then boosted a lot of the mid range at nearly at 354 hertz by 5.4 decibels. I just wanted to take away nearly 3 dB from 1.5k, just so I can have a little bit of a rounded dip there. Then at 4.2k, just upped it by 5 decibels, just there. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've then made use of a magma stress box expansion at 0.68 there, and I've boosted the output just a little bit by 3 decibels just to make it a little bit louder. I think the mix is 100%. I did put a silver verb on it, but I chose not to use it. I just like the dryness of how it sounded opposed to the wetness. It didn't quite sound right, so I got rid of it. So for the Geiger counter, I've done something similar, just sort of boosted that 354 hertz, got rid of the 1.5k, well, it's not got rid of it, but just reduced it. So same settings, pretty much, minus the big roll off there. Then I've also got the magma stress box again, similar sort of settings, 0.77 on the expansion side, just to get rid of any sort of bleed that was in the original recordings, just so I can keep the actual tone that I want to, or the sounds that I want to, not the tone, just to get rid of any bleed. So how I made this, how I produced this, was this bit here was the original full clip, and it just slowly gets more and more extreme. As you can see, the beginning of it starts smaller, and it peaks every now and then as you get further through it, it's peaking nearly constantly with some small interruptions that you can hear. Just gets more and more extreme. So what I did was I took a small section of it, which you can see here, just repeated it, and because it's clicks, it doesn't sound like it's repeating, it just sounds like it's continuing along the same path. Oh, why can't it be heard? That's strange. Oh yes, sorry, I'm an idiot, I've automated it. So yeah, it's at negative infinity, and then it goes up to negative 4 dB, around bar 77, just to slowly bring it up. Yes. And then I have the dueling amp heads, which is just plucking along some finger picking. There we go, and yeah, once we get to the section where the MIDI drums kick in, it changes to 6/4, as you can see here. So it moves from 4/4 onto 6/4 here. That was very easily done. I just do this drop down menu and then change the tempo from 6/7 to 109 dB. So if I turn on the metronome, you'll just hear it speed up a lot. now. Yeah, and then I also changed the time signature, which you can do by just pressing this button here. Create time signature change. Yeah. I also have the world's smallest amp here as well, which is just almost sounds like similar to what I was doing with the acoustic guitar, with the tracks that I'd copied from the 12th fret, where I just... It's a preset just like the other ones. Found in clean guitar near the bottom. World's smallest amp. So the preset has everything cut below 400 hertz and 4K. So you're only getting these mid frequencies here. It's got a noise gate, some pedal board, some retro chorus, and a blue echo. This is the amp here. So it's the small British amp, and the Tweed 1x12 is, like it said, the world's smallest amp. Not literally, but it's, you know, it's a pretty small amp. Yeah. I do have the Bluebird kit here, which you can see what it's doing. Got the ride here, just played very softly. I have sort of tried to change the velocity of each hit, so I've got 57, 80, 64, 70, 57, etc. Then I've got my kicks and my snare. So with this little bit here, it goes da da. I wanted the first hit to be louder or have more velocity behind it, so it was at 76, and then the other ones I think about 50. No, sorry, it's 41. It sounds more natural that way. It sounds like an actual kit that way, which is what I was aiming for. Even if I'm going to end up re-recording it with drums, anyways. I do have some spoken word tracks here, but I did decide to mute them. I just didn't really like its inclusion. I felt like it was a bit intrusive to the song, so I decided to just take it out, you know. I did 5 takes of each track, but I wasn't keen for it, so I got rid of it. Then we move on, and we have the Mega Distort guitar tone, which is what I've been using on all the other projects. As you can see, I've gotten rid of the noise gate because I wanted that feedback, that horrible noise that you reduce using a noise gate. Once it gets to a particular threshold, it will cut off. I didn't want that. I wanted that horrible screechy feedback noise. I didn't want to take away anything that was on the track. I wanted it all to be there, to be heard. And these are pretty similar tones, except for this one's got the Twin Panda. I didn't actually use any of the reverb on it. As you can see, the reverb's 0, but I wanted that harmonic, saturated tone that the amp itself has outside of the reverb. And I did the same with the Silver Llama effects. There's no reverb, but the inclusion of both of them helps a lot. Just those harmonic frequencies that you can find in analog gear. If I just solo it and play it, you'll be able to hear it. As you can hear, it brightens it up, which is nice. I really like that sort of sound, so that's why I pop them in, because it sounds great. I've got my contact drums here. As you can see, it's the Crumb from the Crumb. Very reverbed and loud sounding. So I've really boosted the 60 hertz by 9 decibels there. It's just really get that punchy kick sound. And then I've boosted the high end at 1.5K just by 4 decibels. Really helps it out a lot. I've got my Magma stress box with the compression setting at threshold at 2, just to make it sound bigger and more expansive and punchier. Then I've got my Space Designer here, just to make it sound really long and wet and reverbed, as if it's in like a tunnel. It's the kind of sound I was going for. So we've got the length at 1.3 seconds there, and then we have the initial levels at 0%. Then it goes up into the reverb there. Got the attack at 76.6 milliseconds. Got a wet of negative 10 dB. It just sounds really massive and huge. Yeah, and then of course a new inclusion of this is the inclusion of the dueling cabs and Heavenly Tweed. When listening to it, I was like, there's something missing here, when it would just be the drums and the guitar. I felt there was something missing, so I needed a more melodic element behind it, and the inclusion really helps with it. It makes it sound much more it helps the song sound more, what's the word, realised, I suppose would be the word. So it's just a sort of picked version of what was being played previously in the other section, but slightly modified. It's playing slightly different things and descends when the distorted guitar descends as well. I don't know why it's doing that distortion. That's weird. That's not happened before. Oh well. You move on. Yeah. One thing that I do keep in mind is that the track is very hot. It's sitting at nearly 4 dB, which is very loud, and it's going to be introducing distortion. Maybe that's what that noise was there, but I've not noticed that before. That's odd. Strange. But yeah, this is something I need to reduce in future because it's so damn loud. God. But yeah, that's the most recent version of this project.